Welcome! Today, we're doing a quick explainer on a nation that's a huge player in both ancient history and modern global politics, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So, let's jump right in. Okay, so to really get a handle on Saudi Arabia, you first have to appreciate its sheer size. We're not just talking about a major country in the Middle East. It is the single largest Arab country in all of Asia. That massive footprint is absolutely key to its influence on the world stage.
So here's our game plan. We're going to look at its geography and key cities, then we'll dive into how it's governed and what drives its economy, and we'll wrap up with a few surprising facts you might not know.
All right, first up, let's get a feel for the land itself, the country's geography and its pretty unique climate.
You know, where a country sits on the map tells you so much about it. And Saudi Arabia is in a really complex and vital neighborhood. I mean, look at who it's bordered by: Iraq, Yemen, all the Gulf states. It's truly at a strategic crossroads, which makes what happens in the region a huge deal for them.
And the climate? Well, it's a story of total extremes. Because it's a vast desert, you get that scorching, intense heat during the day, which can then swing to being surprisingly cold at night. That dramatic shift has really shaped life and culture there for centuries.
And all that desert means one thing is incredibly scarce: water. With almost no rainfall to speak of, managing water is a massive national challenge. It pretty much influences everything from how they build their cities to how they grow their food.
Okay, so from that huge landscape, let's zoom right into the nation's beating hearts, its most important cities. And these places are really interesting because they represent both ancient faith and these really ambitious plans for the future.
You really can't talk about Saudi Arabia without starting in Mecca. I mean, as the birthplace of the Prophet Muhammad and home to the Kaaba, it is the spiritual center of the entire Islamic world. It's a destination for millions and millions of pilgrims, and it's the direction of prayer for over 1 billion people.
And right alongside Mecca, you have Medina, Islam's second holiest city. This is where the Prophet Muhammad actually established the very first Muslim community. Together, they're called the Haramain, which means the two holy sanctuaries, and the kingdom's role as their protector is central to its identity.
Now, in a complete change of pace from those ancient holy cities, you've got Riyadh. This place is the gleaming high-tech engine of modern Saudi Arabia. It's a city of soaring skyscrapers and global business, and it really is the symbol of the country's Vision 2030 plan, that big push for a future that isn't all about oil.
And this is super important. Riyadh isn't just an economic hub, it is the nation's capital. This is the center of political power. It's where the monarchy governs and where all that global diplomacy happens.
So, what holds all of this together? What are the big ideas that govern these cities and the whole nation? Let's take a look at the pillars of the kingdom, its system of government, and its religion.
Well, the clue is right there in the name. Saudi Arabia is a kingdom. To be specific, it's an absolute monarchy. That means the king holds the ultimate political authority, and that system has defined the nation since it was founded.
You can really trace the country's identity back to two huge historical moments. The first, centuries ago, was the unification of the Arabian Peninsula under Islam by the Prophet Muhammad. And the second, much more recently in the 20th century, was when King Abdulaziz brought the region together and founded the modern Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
And that history leads directly to a core principle you just have to understand. Islam isn't just the main faith there, it is the state religion. This means the country's legal system, the Sharia, is based on Islamic scripture, and the faith really has a deep influence on every part of public life and culture.
All right, let's switch gears from culture to commerce. Let's look at the economic engine that's powering this kingdom. What does Saudi Arabia actually trade with the rest of the world?
So, what's driving the economy? The easy answer, of course, is oil. But you know, that's really not the whole picture anymore. The modern Saudi economy is actually a lot more complex than people think, especially as they're working so hard to diversify. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, if you look at what they're trading, it tells a really interesting story. Of course, oil, or mineral fuels, is still the top export. But look at what else is on there. Plastics, chemicals, those are signs of that economic diversification we were just talking about. And on the flip side, what are they buying? Mostly machinery and high-tech equipment, the very tools you need to build brand new industries.
And the money making all this happen? That's the Saudi Rial. What's kind of interesting is that it's actually pegged to the US dollar, which helps keep things stable for all those massive international energy deals that are still the foundation of their economy.
Okay, let's wrap this up with a couple of surprising facts that give you a really unique peek into life in the kingdom.
I think these last two facts really show you that fascinating blend of ancient tradition and unique geography that defines modern Saudi Arabia. So, This number, 100, what's that all about? Well, it points to a tradition that is still going strong. Even in the modern capital of Riyadh, there's one of the world's biggest camel markets. And on any given day, about 100 camels are sold there. It's just a great reminder of how important the camel still is in Arabian culture.
Okay, for our last fact, and this one might really surprise you. Think about something that pretty much every large country on Earth has, a major river. Now picture that vast expanse of Saudi Arabia and just ask yourself, where's the river?
The answer is there isn't one. Saudi Arabia is the largest country on the entire planet without a single permanent river. It's a mind-blowing fact that really highlights just how much the nation depends on other water sources, like desalination. And it leaves you with a really fascinating thought, doesn't it? How does a modern nation thrive on such a massive scale without the one resource that has sustained civilizations for all of history?